Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Drivetime podcast, brought to you by Keyloop, the global auto tech podcast that puts you in the driving seat of all of the latest innovation. This week I'm joined by Scott Gairns, who's the managing director of Sofas 3. Welcome to the episode, Scott.
Thank you, Jackie. I'm very pleased for being here.
So let's just go through some of these like a bit more fun questions, I suppose. So biggest myth about auto tech, or it could be the biggest myth about tech, and it could be that, yeah.
I think a myth about auto tech is that in the short term, it's making life easier. And I often take this example whenever you're on a trip, business trip, holidays, and you need to rent a car. I mean, how long does it take you to understand how the car works? In terms of all the buttons, technology, now more and more, advanced features. I think people are getting a bit confused. I was discussing with some part suppliers recently, and they're saying one of the challenges they have is that some people buy cars with a functionality like pilot assist, for example, but they're not aware of it because it's part of many other functionalities and they don't care too much about it. When they come to replacing their cars 3 years later, they don't request this feature because they were not aware they had it. So it's becoming an issue where part suppliers now kind of want to be part of the sales spiel because they feel that otherwise there's so many functionalities in the car now that some customers are not even aware of, don't make the most of, and therefore don't buy again later on.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? I think we have so much tech pre-configured in the vehicle that you don't know. So I think the same with every tech. If you have an Excel, you look at just your own tech suite on your laptop. So much of that technology I don't use.
Yeah. Well, and this is why, again, we were discussing earlier about having this call back, not necessarily a week later, but even 3 months later, and somebody making sure that, have you tried this, tried that?
Could you, with that though, could you track through the connected vehicle technology how much of the technology I'm using?
Yes.
So I could say to you, oh, hey, Scott, I see you've got your new blah, blah, blah. You're only using 10% of the functionality, and what we want to do is bring you back in and help you understand more of it.
Exactly, and it comes back to the point about the journey and how they can follow up later on. We during COVID, we launched lots of virtual showroom for OEMs, and what we are doing now is working with some of them to implement this virtual showroom or video capability into the infotainment system. So, the infotainment system is now a big screen. It's connected to the internet. What if, you buy a car and a week later, hi, Jackie, next time you are at a traffic light, do you mind, or you're parked, do you mind talking to me for 2 minutes? Hi, Jackie, I've just noticed, everything okay with the car? Just noticed that you're not using this reverse parking automated thingy that you have. Do you want more explanation? Everything okay? Everything okay with charging? I mean, you would have your concierge, which could be AI in the future, look like a real human, but could be AI, which would basically talk to you if you have any question, if you have a car failure and you're on the side of the road, could call. I mean, it already exists with the button, but basically you would have a car concierge, an AI car concierge, which will support you for any car-related question and even other question while you're driving.
Yeah, I mean, my car quite early on decided to the infotainment thing just decided to stop.
Okay.
I was like, why is there are no speakers? I have CarPlay. I love CarPlay. What drives me a bit bonkers is I have like the magnetic charging thing. It's all fully Bluetoothed, but I have to plug the phone in for the CarPlay to work. I'm like, really? Yeah. Doesn't he just know I'm in the vehicle? Yeah. Like I'm using this charging. So there are certain things that I did sit with the sales guy, and he showed me how to unlock my, how to use certain functionality, but I had to Google how to reset my invitation.
I mean, I consider myself as fairly tech savvy. I did try to listen to the salesperson when he handed the car over, but I did spend some time on Google looking for information about how to configure 2 different keys, and didn't get it right straight away. So I can imagine, older generation who at the end of the day are still the one buying new cars nowadays, probably would struggle with most of this.
Yeah. I think there was somebody actually gave an example of, and it was at the Canadian Automotive Dealer Association, they were talking about demographics and who was buying, and it's people that are actually our age. I know you're younger than me.
I know, you're right. I keep saying, I've been saying this for 25 years. I forgot that I'm now part of this age group.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, really? And when did that happen? So yeah, but it was this guy said my dad could get in a new vehicle and wouldn't know how to start it, but he could walk into a dealership and know exactly what the process is the same. So that's not a great thing. So just then, one tech tool you can't live without, Scott.
Sora, at the moment, it's Sora AI. It's the video, it's not even editing, creation tool from ChatGPT, which basically allows you to just enter a prompt. I want to see a whale jumping on top of a building, and we'll create something extremely realistic. And again, I think Sora started last year. First version was okay-ish. It's probably on V4 now, and it's extremely realistic. And
is that the normal ChatGPT? Is that just the free version, or is that
I think it's the paid version. It's like $10 a month, and you can start creating some videos, which I found really useful when I'm with clients and I try to explain concept about, this is what we're going to do. Suddenly, I have a video which looked completely professional, which I've created in two minutes, which I can use to explain things. So, we're discussing the whole movie industry is really going to be turned upside down by it.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of actors at the moment are kind of challenging the fact that companies could use their voice in the future. But I wouldn't be surprised if people like Brad Pitt, who probably are a few years from retiring, think, well, it's a good idea. It would allow me to
license my voice, license my image.
Yeah, license my voice, my image. I will continue to make movie without having to make movie myself, and I will gain money from it. So it's going to be an interesting space. In fact, I don't remember the name. I have don't few detail, but I know that just the day that Sora AI launched a year ago, there was a big investor, entrepreneur in the UK who was about to extend a studio warehouse by quite a significant investment, and he gave up on it. He said, no, we're not going to spend more money shooting movies or investing on shooting movies because this is the future. And I think, for the next few years, the reality will be in the middle. We will still have... But until one day, by surprise, there will be a fantastic movie created by AI, because the scenario will be great. And maybe the scenario itself will be created by AI, but people will start having this emotional, this affect towards a completely AI-created movie. And I think this is where there will be a shift. I would say probably even in humanity, a shift towards where an AI movie is created is one of my preferred movie of the time. Is there something scary about it?
Yeah, that's a bit scary. I suppose we like cartoons, and that's not real. We like animation. I think if you look at what's the application of the technology, then if the application is you want to create something or storyboard something, as you're talking, I'm just thinking I've got all this video footage of my kids when they're little, and I would love to create a movie that they can then look down and go, there's your life. We actually, for my younger son just turned 18, and for each of the boys, their dad put together like a This Is Your Life album. So we actually printed photos between them. We kind of went through all the photos that we had, and then he's done a really good job of like theming them together.
Wow.
And then we give them a book on their 18th birthday, and you go, there you go. And they're really fun. It's like them with their brothers and various things. And
and there's already some apps available right now. And then unfortunately it's a podcast, so I will only show you. But you can make some some old video. This is my dad's dad, and basically from a photos, you've managed to make a scene out of it. He was very affected. So, but this is, again, V1 of something where basically you will feed all your photos, all your notes, email. He will create a biography of your life and will make a, 50 hours movie, summarized movies of everything you've done with your kids and everything.
Crazy. That is bonkers. So while we're on that then, so what do you think, apart from AI movies, the next question was, what's the most exciting innovation in the next 5 years? I suppose that, but I don't know what else that you could think of.
I find it as exciting as I find it scary, but I think it will all be about AI in the future. It will all be about AI. I mean, you see it every time you talk to someone there. I've just tried this. I'm now using Copilot every day. I think we'll have our own AI companion with us who will know everything, who will join every discussion. We'll have an argument and then he will say, Jackie is right, shut up, Scott. Because AI
But you just said, no, I didn't. Yeah, actually you did.
And then I'll have an argument. I think there's going to be some, I mean, I'm not the only one saying this, but there are going to be some massive repercussion. Some will be good, some will be less good, but we kind of need to be on top of it. I think my biggest concern are a bit the geopolitical challenges on top of AI, which mean that each country will want to be stronger and better than the other one. I think recently OpenAI, who own ChatGPT, is trying to force the American Congress to allow them to use copyrighted content as part of the feed from OpenAI, because their competitor in China, DeepSeek, is doing it.
Yeah.
So, we are going to start allowing AI to breach certain laws just so they remain more competitive than others.
Yeah, it's a big old melting pot of
but
decisions.
it's the speed at which it's going, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I think we heard some stuff last week about like you said, there were a million users in 4 days or 10 million users in 4 days, and the speed of the next agent or the next iteration of the next agentic thing is really, really thick and fast, and it's going to take a while for us humans to kind of keep up with it. But
and maybe this is where we breach our limit, where technology is starting to evolve faster than we can even comprehend it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it back into the human now, because I just think
please.
we need to bring it back into the human, into the here and now. So the other thing we wanted to do on this podcast is build out a playlist, but also like your best locations. So in real time, in real life, like where you've like either best road trip or where you want to go, either where you've been or where you'd like to go.
Well, my best road trip, which is probably very common, but even though I have a thick French accent, I'm partly Scottish. I'm hiding my Scottish accent today.
Very well, I have to say.
But I'm half Scottish, and the Scottish Highlands are my favourite road trips. I mean, I often sometimes go fishing with my dad and great uncle. I don't go for the fishing. I just go for the scenery and for renting a car in Inverness and just driving up. Yeah, because I think there's something at the same time beautiful, but also very relaxing about it.
Yeah, it's pure, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pure.
Yeah, and that's the lovely thing. You kind of get that, like clear water, clear locks, amazing skies. The weather is very real, whether it's good or bad. It's like, it's in your face.
Yes, and so close to here. This is what every time I go, I feel normally I would have to travel to Patagonia to have this feeling of raw and genuineness.
Yeah.
And it's only Scotland.
I grew up, my dad's from Northern Ireland. So as a kid, we used to drive through Scotland and go on the ferry and then drive to Northern Ireland. So I feel very at home in any kind of Celtic setting. It's like, good. It's my place, my happy place. So on your road trip then, Scott, what will you be listening to? What's your kind of go-to? Scottish music or a podcast? Or what's
not Scottish music. Of course, your podcast. I will listen to your podcast. I think... sadly, not sadly, I will probably want to take my family with me, and I have 3 kids and 2 daughters. So I probably right now would probably be listening to Harry Styles, which I'm getting used to, being forced to listen to it. So yes, this is what right now, if I was to go on a road trip in order to get my family join me, I would be listening to Harry Styles.
Yeah. We're doing a playlist at the moment. We're planning a trip to Italy in the summer, and we're driving through Switzerland. I've never driven through Switzerland before, so we've planned a stop there. And my partner has girls, I've got boys, so we have Taylor Swift, which is great. Yeah. They know all the words.
So boys and girls.
Boys and girls. The boys are kind of doing they're more hard house, and the girls are more Taylor Swift. So it's really. So we're just building a playlist to like divvy up the time. Which would be fun. So Harry Styles, I like Harry Styles. I think he's out there. He's good fun. He's a great guy. So yeah. Anyway, thanks again, Scott.
You're welcome.
It's really good fun, and good luck with your next road trip.
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Thank you, Jackie.
Cheers.